Hello guys, and welcome to my video about the new global map 2.0. I'm gonna start this video by introducing myself. I'm Zmor from clan Red Supreme. For the purposes of this video, I'm placed in the position of combat officer. I'm usually an intelligence officer, but I know a bit about the map and how it functions. So after a lot of people asking about the global map, how it works, etc., I decided to make a video explaining basically everything we know about this map so far. So I'm gonna start off by showing you the uh, first details, Clan Wars global map. Basically, you can read through this. I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna read this out loud. You can read this by yourselves. Basically, what it says is just that there's a lot more provinces than it was on the old global map. More opportunities for landing, which I'll explain. There are basically different vehicle tiers. It's not just tier 10s, it's tier 6, tier 8, and tier 10. And the campaigns are going to be more frequent and are going to be easier to implement. There are no more chips. They're going to be replaced by divisions, which you'll see. Maps are divided into fronts, which you'll also see. And there's a new currency on the global map called influence. Basically, you can earn influence in the battles on the new map or the stronghold battles. So with influence, you can actually land on the global map, purchase division and maintenance. I'm gonna explain that also. Invest in a province to raise the income of the province. This is very important, and the ability to protect the province from enemy clans. This is a bit tricky, and I'm gonna explain that a bit more thorough. You earn also you earn influence by destroying enemy divisions and basically fighting a stronghold. So those are like the two ways. So I'm gonna go to the global map actually, and I'm gonna show you. This is the tier 6 fighting zone. It has the most provinces. This is the tier 8 and this is the tier 10. For the purpose of this video, I'm gonna use the tier 10. I'm just gonna show you the tier 8, like the tier 6, to see how big it is. There's a lot of clans there. Tier 8 is a bit smaller. There's still a bunch of clans, and tier 10 is the smallest one. Important thing is tier 6 has the lowest income on average per territory. Tier 8 a bit better income, and tier 10 basically has the highest income per territory. So we're just gonna zoom in on our clan promises, my clan promises, whatever. And I'm gonna start explaining just the basics to you. So the new global map gives you a lot of info just by looking at it. You don't longer need to click around the provinces to see how much gold it gives. You can see it right away. The important thing to note is that the province's income per day, see it says raised up to level 4. That means these provinces were upgraded 4 times using influence. I'm gonna start with gold, of course, because everyone loves gold. And see, these provinces also are raised up to level 4. So the starting gold on each of the provinces is different. It varies. I think it's random, but it may just be a placeholder. Like it's still a test. That's basically a beta test for for the global map. So these guys had probably around 1k starting gold on this province, and I think this province had around 600 or something. So when you start upgrading the province, depending on your clan rating on tier 10 vehicles, every clan here shows its rating or on tier 10 vehicles, and you use that rating in this part of the map. I'm going to show you just a quick that clan Bia has clan rating on tier 6 vehicles because they're fighting in the tier 6 front. So everything within this front is basically tier 10s. When you start leveling it, you start with 1k, I think, on tier 10. Maybe it's on all promises, just 1k, and you can upgrade the income of the province 3 levels, basically for free, just using your clan influence. Next thing the clan influence does is it increases the number of times you can increase the rank of the province, or the level, sorry. So with our 1k, I think we can increase it maximum to level 5 or level 6. I'm not 100% sure, but the higher the clan rating is, the higher the number or the level you can increase your province to. Maximum number of levels for the income is 10, and each level gives you a percentage of its base income. So first 3 levels with 1k are free for now. So as soon as you capture the province and land on this map, if you have like 1k, you can raise it for 3 levels, and you can raise an extra level or 2 using your own influence. I think that the starting influence cost for raising this income is, I'm gonna check the log, I think it is, yeah, raising the income of province Coquimbo when is basically 400 influence points. So from level 3 to level 4 it's 400, from level 4 to level 5 is 500, and basically the income increases linearly and the cost increases linearly. Nothing increases exponentially, which is good, because if the cost actually increased exponentially, it would be like 10k influence points or more for the level 10. So they decided to just keep it simple for now, at least. It's all subject to change, but I'm just telling how it is at the moment. Yeah, so that's it about the gold. Also, one important thing to note is when you attack and conquer a province, you lower its level by 1. This province was level 3. When we conquered it, it got lowered to level 4. To level 3. Sorry, it was level 4. It got lowered to level 3. So you need to level it back up. It's not a big deal, as you saw. It's 400 fame points, influence points. We have like 5k, so not really a big deal. The next thing I wanted to talk about is actually the divisions. They're the new chips. As you can see, this is our headquarters right here. Basically everyone by this time knows it's here. Instead of chips, you get divisions. Each division costs 350 influence points, and let's see, I almost messed something up. And you can, when you train the division, you can add consumables. Now, the consumables are basically the same as in Clan War in Strongholds. You have a bomber run, artillery. This is poison gas, I think, or something like that. We haven't used that yet, so I'm not 100% sure how it works and what it does. But I'll probably make a new video soon with some updates that I like, covering the things I didn't cover in this one. This is basically like a bombing run and artillery strike, and this guy here is basically a scout plane. This is on our province, Vicuña, or whatever it's called. It enables you to see enemy, basically details about the enemy on the adjacent provinces. So we see here that the F-15 has a division which has nerve gas or whatever it is, and its cooldown is 17 turns. Being 3 AM right now, it means that they will have this province at 8 PM. So they won't, this division at 8 PM, so they won't be able to attack us with it. So we know this province is safe from F-15, they can only attack us from this one. This is an attack sent from this province. So actually, I'm just gonna say this, there's no encounter battles. So if we attack them from this province and they attack us here from this province, on the current global map, there's gonna be an encounter battle. On this new map, there's no encounter battles, you just have two battles at the same time if they attack you. So it doesn't matter where you attack them from, it's just an attack on that province. So there's no encounter battles, just deal with it. We can see that Elite Squad has a division ready to move with also Scout and a Bomber. And yeah, Scout and a Bomber. This one also. You can use Scout in the battle actually to scout an area for a few seconds, basically revealing the enemy tank's positions. Also, important thing to note: when you place free, I'll call them consumables, in your division, you can't use all three. The thing, like there's a theory, but we didn't test it, so I'm just gonna tell it like we're sure for now. When you go to controls, 1, 2, 3 consumables are basically ammunition. 4, 5, and 6 are your standard consumables that everybody uses, and 7 and 8 are basically another consumables that include this. So as you know, in Stronghold you only have two consumables, artillery and bombers. But here you can actually have three. Now the problem is you don't have enough numbers for those consumables. They really need to implement number 9 for an extra consumable. There's a theory that if you don't have anything on number 6, so you go into battle with only two consumables, like I don't know, big repairs and automatic fire extinguisher, that you'll get the third one on number 6, but nobody really tried it yet because nobody wants to risk something happening to their tank, and just because of theory. So like maybe if you were fighting against some pretty bad clan, that like some new guys with no experience, then we'd try it out, but we're surrounded by 9 TD, Elite Squad, F-15. So we don't really wanna experiment anything at the moment. So yeah, that's it. When you make a new division, you spend 350 influence points. For each one of these extra consumables, you spend extra 30 influence points. Now, maintenance per day goes like this. For each of these divisions, you pay 100 influence points per day, plus 20 influence points for each and every one of the consumables on it. So see, on Vincula, there's basically it should be 160, but it's crossed out. I think, not 100% sure, that that's because it's on the headquarter. So you don't pay anything for basically divisions you have on your territory with a headquarter on it. When it's inactive like this, when it's grayed out, This is the one we moved. You don't pay maintenance for it, but this one is just sitting here doing nothing, and we're paying maintenance for it. Now, I'm not 100% sure that this is because it's on the headquarter, but I'm like 90% sure. So moving on about the text on the map. That's basically like you move and make another division, and then you can move it again on the next turn, and etc. etc. Basically, just like chips. So that's about it. The ways you can get into the global map are landing tournaments, like this year, this year, this year, this year, this year, this year. These are basically the landing tournaments on the map, and you can get in through the landing tournaments. Fight like on the standard map, fight the clans there, and then fight against the clan owning the province. There's another way though. If you have enough influence points, you can attack any, and I mean any province directly. How? You go here and see the maximum bids. Now, the minimum bids, sorry. Minimum bids tell you how much influence you need to bid in order to attack one of these provinces. Now, the redder it gets, the more influence it needs. So I can't really zoom out anymore. Sorry about that. Didn't know. See, these are pretty dark, and they need the most influence points at the moment on the map. And these were a bit lighter, so it's like 350. 350 is standard. Some provinces have a bit more, some don't. This one had a default of 368 when we took it today, so maybe it increases a bit when you take a new province. We're not 100% sure, but we don't know why it just had 368. It had 350 2 days ago. So you go on the minimum bid, you pick a province that you want to land on, and you can choose bid. Now I can't really show you that because we're on the map, but you can bid, and it's called a bid because if someone outbids you, say like you want to land here, it's 350 influence, you place 400 influence for that territory, and you're gonna fight against us if nobody actually bids more than you. If, for example, Odemordis leaves the map and wants to land here, and you come and place like 400 influence, and then they come and place 1000 influence, you will get your influence refunded, and they will be the ones fighting us. But in the next turn, you can outbid them because it always says the minimum bid. If they bid at 1000, you'll see how much they bid. So you can place like 1.1k, or I don't know, if you're really desperate and want to fight us, like 10k or something. So just like on a real bid, like it's basically a blind bid. Like you only see it in the end of the turn how much someone else bid it, but since it's really low cost, you can like, maybe you want to come in this part of the map, you can just, I don't know, place 3 bids around here, each one giving like 400, and then if someone outbids you here, it doesn't really matter, but they outbid you in 2 provinces, you can increase your bid to like 600, and then place a bid here for like 800 so you don't get outbidded, and then like you're gonna fight on these two provinces at the same time. But it's not that expensive actually, because most of the clans are already on the map. So you can, in this way you can actually pick where you want to land, and you can pick your opponent, and you don't have to fight 10 other clans to get there. So it will cost you some influence, but it's much quicker way. As I said, you can actually earn influence through the stronghold battles. You get, for tier 10 stronghold battles, you get somewhere from 100 to 150 per victory. So you need a lot of wins in stronghold with tier 10 vehicles, With tier 6, I think it's around 500 to it's around 50 to 70 for tier 8 vehicles. For tier 6, it's like, I don't know, 30. It's really low for tier 6s. So yeah, that's how you can actually bid. Also, an important thing to note about attacking territories and bidding and landing on them. If, for example, we get attacked by 9TD and by Elite Squad at the same time, we're gonna have to fight against 9TD, then fight against Elite Squad. If we get attacked by Elite Squad, 9TD, and someone places a bid on us, so they win the bid and they are going to fight with us for the landing. First, we fight against them, then we fight against 9TD and Elite Squad. I don't know the order we are fighting in, but I think the first one to places the attack fights against us first. So the defender really has to fight more battles than the attackers, which on the current global map, you know how it goes, like two clans place chips on you and then they fight each other and then the winner fights you. No, in this case you fight against one attacker, and if that attacker wins then he fights against the other attacker for the control of that province. So the defender is gonna have much much harder time now defending their provinces, and they're gonna have more of their tanks locked. So, and also I have to mention that tanks on this map actually lock out even for the standard current global map, so it's kind of weird. Yeah, I think that's about it with bids. You can change to battle intensity and see how many battles there are. See, there's what? No, there's a map there's one here, and there's nobody attack. I see there's like one battle here, one battle here. Like on the landings, there was like, I don't know, maybe 6 clans applied. It says 6 battles here, so it's, or whatever. It just says the number of battles depending on the clans attacking. You can also scan by income. Also, the darker it gets, the higher the income, just like with the bids. So the green ones have very low income, and the darker it gets, see, this one is 2k income. This one's 1.7. It's a lot darker. So this one is a bit darker than the others because it's 1.2k, etc., etc. You can view by prime times. Basically, everything on the left side is 8 o'clock prime time. Then there's the 7 o'clock prime time. It's smaller. It's significantly smaller. And the 8 o'clock prime time is really, really small. Like that. This is it. This is the 8 o'clock prime time. So yeah, basically most of it is 8 o'clock. And now the important thing to note about this prime time is this battle start time. So unlike the current global map, where prime time at 8 p.m. is actually just when everything gets reset, actually the turn ends, and then encounters are fought at 8:30, and the real battles start at 9:30. So, or 9 is it? I can't remember. But you know, battles don't actually start at 8. Here on this map, it starts at 8. Like battle start time is 8. It's 8 and 1 minute. Doesn't really matter. It's 8 o'clock. So that was, I think that's important to note. So that battles actually start at the time that's written here. Here you can see your clan's provinces. You can see that there's a division located, HQ, income per day. It's really like giving you a lot. So you can see where applications close, what time, when battle starts, the map, which server, what's the minimum bid. The last winning bid on this map was our bid, 2.8k. On this map, 9TD bidded 2k and F15 bidded like 3k on each of their provinces to actually win it. And there hasn't been a bid to land since. So here you can see your divisions and their maintenance and which provinces they are and what consumables they use. And this is the investments you see now. How investments work? I actually forgot to talk about it for the bidding part. Um, you invest influence in order to increase the the minimum bid. Sorry. Um, sorry, I had to drink some water. I talked too much. This is basically your clan's defense bid. Minimum bid to be made to participate in a landing auction. But this here is the actual bid. This is the defense bid. See, we added 10 influence to increase the minimum bid for you to attack this province if you want to land on it, and it shows as this tank barricade right here. And you have it, I think you have it like grayed out on every province. You can just click on it. I don't have that option because I'm not a clan leader or a deputy, but only clan leaders and deputies can do that. It's gonna refresh. Map is gonna refresh because the turn ended. So how this works? You bid influence, uh, just on any auction. Like you come and bid for your own item, for example. So this is the basic bid, and you can increase it. If we placed 1k influence for this defense, it would be 1,368 minimum influence points for that bid. So if you don't have 1,368, you wouldn't be able to bid. That's one of the defense mechanisms you can use on your provinces. Now, you heard about it, but you didn't hear the important part. It only lasts till the end of the day. Basically, not the end of the day, but the end of the turns, the end of the next prime time. So applications close at 7 past 7. Nobody can apply anymore, and at that point this expires. So if we placed 1k, we would lose those 1k, would just disappear, and for tomorrow the bid would be 368. So when we landed, our commander actually placed a defensive bid on this territory for 4k influence points. So we spent 4k influence points to increase our defense bid, and nobody under 4k 350, so basically 4,350 influence points you needed to bid to actually apply for a battle with owner. So there was like a defense mechanism, so nobody would try and land. At the end of like 8 p.m., it just disappeared, and we got 20% back. So we essentially lost 3.2k influence points. We just got 800 back. It was pretty messed up. Our commander was kind of bummed because the influence, as I said, you were in like 100 to 150 in in strongholds. So we basically wasted like over 20 victories in stronghold. Uh, kind of bummed out. Like around 25 victories in stronghold. That's a lot. If you actually play tier 10 strongholds, you know that it's a lot. We learned the lesson though. So 20% gets back if nobody attacks you on that province. I think wargaming needs to change that. Like it's really like bad. Maybe add something like you have for gold for income that you can just pay influence points to increase this permanently. That would be good in my opinion. Just not over increase it, like maybe to 900, so you don't get attacked by a clan that actually like won free free battles in tier 10 stronghold and has enough influence to attack you. So I think that's about it on the actual global map, the info and what you can do on it. You can change, you can move your headquarters. I'm not gonna do that now because my commander is gonna kill me. Uh, yeah, that's about it. You can see other clans like they're rating the rate of victories on the global map, and we have like 10 battles and 70% victories. We couldn't field 3 or 4 teams. You can also see the clans battles for the next day. So we're gonna see 90D and see that they have a battle against a battle on La Serena. They're defending contestants. The map is mines. A number of battles on the map, victories, whatever. Their division, what it uses, and they're basically the clan rating and tier 10s, which you can see everything on the map like it is now, but if you just want to check out a clan what it's doing. Here you can see how your own clan has the what is this? Oh, nice. Uh, your clan's battles and stuff. And in the log you can see expenses and earnings of influence. So we expended 2 times 400 to increase the income on provinces. This is just like I made my commander do it like 2 or 3 hours ago, just so I can show you guys what's going on. This is the modifying of division models. It's 90 influence, each one costs 30. Organizing a division costs 350. Destroying, see, the division is 350 and every model is 30, so you get this in the end. Actually, this. So it's 350 plus 90 with all of these free. Destroying an enemy division of 90D granted us 246, and destroying the division of F15 granted us 264. So you get influence by destroying enemy divisions. Of course, you get more influence the harder you beat them, I guess, and how much consumables they have in their own division. And you see here battles for stronghold, how many. This is like tier 6 or tier, no, these are tier 8s. This was a tier 10. There's a few tier 10s here. This was a destruction yesterday or 2 days ago now, etc, etc. You can't really scroll. You can scroll down to infinity, but it doesn't matter. It's not really important. You should know that it's there and it exists. I want to see if this screenshot is working. Yeah, it is. So this is a screenshot I took earlier. Basically showing for every battle scheduled. This was taken between 7 and 8 p.m. For every battle scheduled, how much of clan rating you will get if you win, and how much you will lose. Against TD, 90D, we win 14, lose 16. That's because our clan rating is higher than theirs at the moment. Against F15, we would win only 12 but lose 18 because our clan influence is much greater than theirs. This is like what, 28 difference, and this is like 40, 60, 59 difference in influence, so in clan rating, so we gain much less for winning. And you can see for each victory how much you will be awarded of these influence points. you will see that on the battle screen, like in the very end, because if someone else attacks, then maybe they won't fight you first, they will fight them first, and then you'll see it. Yes, you'll see it, how many you win and how many you lose, how much you lose. So that's about it on the global map. I think I've said it all. Yeah, I think of that. I'm just gonna show you a few screenshots of the wargaming actually placed in this there. I'm gonna send a link to this, but I'm just gonna try and explain. This is the UTC +3, so this is like European Standard Time +1. So it's not 6, 7, 8, it's 7, 8, 9. And you can see how it's split up. This is just another part of the map. So this is basically the map they decided to use for the testing, and this is just another part of the whole map, because the map is gonna be like the whole world, and they're gonna use parts of it. I don't think they will gonna ever see a whole map unlocked, because it's too much territory, and basically clans won't have to fight each other. So this is like a short overview. If they opened like something like this, American front, minimum vehicle tier 6, players on team 7, average province income per day 420. The British front is tier 8, its income per day is much higher. They're tier 6. Western European front tier 10, much higher than tier 8 and tier 6. So basically, like these are just the placeholders. I think that it's gonna be tweaked, but this here I think is actually the how it's gonna look. Like tier 6 are gonna play it with 7 players, tier 8s with 10, and tier 10s with 15. And you can see which one is which here. This is just an income tab, so you see like the darker it gets, the more gold it gives you. So you can actually see like on the map, you don't have to look like every province how much it gets. You can just see instantly which province gives most gold. So you can, if you want, maybe land on it using your influence. This is just how it looks. This is the owning clans color. This is basically like in the standard map, where the clans are basically have their own colors and signs, icons. This is just like waiting for challenges. You can apply for landings uh, or bids, and this is how you actually upgrade your province. So as I said, maximum level tier 10 for now, and judging like compared to your clan's rating, this is like the highest they can get at this point. Like maybe I'm just saying these numbers, like I don't know the numbers, but I'm just guessing. Like maybe at like 1.2k clan rating, you can unlock it to the next level, then 1.4k to the next, and maybe at like 1.5, 1.6k clan rating, you'll be able to max it out. Like I'm just guessing, it doesn't have to be like that, but it can. So the upgrade cost is just it increases linearly. It's not. This is just how the whole map looks. This they're showing here how many influence points actually they got. This is I don't know what this says. There's some random tanks and stuff, but that's probably the battle in Stronghold, because they get boxes. Call this resources, actually we call them boxes. Sorry. So uh, so maybe this is like when you're attacking our province or something like an enemy stronghold, but no, they got the same number. So yeah, maybe this is just a placeholder, also like the random number of stuff. So what we get is usually around 100 to 150 in tier 10 stronghold, random stronghold battles, basically skirmishes. And this is how you actually bid for a province to land. It says minimum bid for the auction, and you can place your bid anything from 0 to your current your current influence, and then you press bid. So that's basically it from the pictures. They're just showing the interface. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh yeah, I almost forgot a very important thing to note. When you're going into battle, the consumables of each of your divisions. So we attacked with this division, and it has airstrike and artillery. Uh, for example, we had a commander, an executive officer, and a combat officer in the same battle, and a personnel officer. Sorry, I'm an intelligence officer. I was also in the battle, and from all of us, only the combat officer could use those. The thing is, if you have a combat officer in your clan and he's in the battle, doesn't matter that our commander was actually leading the battle, the combat officer could use the consumables. So when there was no combat officers in the battle, then it goes commander, executive officer. But when there's a combat officer in the actual battle, the combat officer will be the one who uses the consumables. So keep that in mind. If you have someone just as combat officer who isn't leading that much, luckily this time we had Southrix in the battle. He's very experienced. He leads strongholds and stuff, and he's experienced with using those things. If they gave me combat officer just for the purposes of me making this, and I was in the battle, nobody else from the combat officers, and I got the consumables, that wouldn't be that good for ours. Um, does like it's usually best that the guy leading the battle can use the consumables. So combat officers have the priority of using consumables. That will probably get changed in the future because it's kind of stupid. We thought that when you get into the battle, on the right side, like here are all the members that applied for the battle, and then you transfer them on the right to here, and we thought that the guy on top will actually be able to use the consumables like in strongholds. You know, if the guy on the top who actually made the stronghold and can invite and kick players, he's the one who can use the consumables. This wasn't the case in Clan Wars. It was always the combat officer, then the commander, then the executive officer. So keep that in mind. That's a very important information. It can go wrong if you're if you're not really careful with it. But yeah, as you saw, like the using them is not really expensive. It's just for the influence. So you can actually spam that in every battle on the new map. Everything that I just show you could change, and most of the things probably will change, but that's just how it is now. I hope I cleared it up. This was a really long video, but there's a really bunch of information that I really had to tell you. Some of it you probably knew, some of it some less experienced players and clans didn't know, and I got a lot of questions about it from English speaking players, from my native speaking players, and this is a English video. I'm gonna make soon the my video on native language, so as to like explain them thoroughly. Like for example, my commander sucks understanding English, and when there are rules and stuff for campaigns, it's usually me or someone else from the clan who can read read English and understand most of it. Um, it's us that actually interpret the rules for our commanders. So yeah, we have problems with that, and a lot of people from the Balkans have the problem with understanding English. So I'm gonna make one for them too. Don't despair, my friends. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Sorry about this black lines on the screen. It's a window in a window and it's kind of messy. So if you have any questions regarding the global map, something that I didn't mention, or something more that you like to know, please don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below. If you liked the video, please subscribe, like it, and I'm gonna be putting out a lot of basically informational videos in the future. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.